Okay. Great. We are live streaming on Facebook now, and I'm going to now post this accordingly to our other page too. So in case people are watching by Success Circles, let me just take care of that. Thanks for all of you watching us on the stream. Anil and I will be being very soon.
Nice, I see it.
Beautiful. Share to page. And it's happening. All right, my friend Anil Gupta, the one and only, the happiness coach, Mr. Immediate Happiness. It's great to see you. It's been a few years since I saw you last in person. Of course, I've seen you virtually on several occasions. How are you doing?
I'm very well. You know, I've got my windows open. I'm looking at the sunshine. I have my beautiful family with me, and you know, I know these are difficult times, but there are certain things that we can do to make it a lot more comfortable, for sure. And with the viewers out there, let's give them something that they can immediately apply.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Certainly do that. A little context to this is called Rules for Success. You can find the video for this and transcription more, rulesforsuccess.com. It's a blog entry. You'll see that on top. And I've met Anil a couple of times over the years. And last time Anil and I connected, he actually gave me some great advice, knowing that I was new in my new role as a husband. I got married 7 years ago with my beautiful wife. And some really clear advice that I've been following. And you know, my wife, when she hears a live stream, she'll get some elements of this. I don't talk to her about this continually, but there are aspects of adoration that I bring forward in our relationship that have come from that conversation I had with Anil. Anil's the author of a book called Immediate Happiness. It's a bestseller. He's also done maybe two TED Talks or one TED Talk you've done?
One TED Talk.
One TED Talk, yeah. And I watched it earlier. It was fantastic. I invite everyone to check it out. A lot of value and humor all around with it. Just want to share with you. I caught this earlier. So my kids are upstairs with their grandma, and I found this, and I said, you know what?
I love it. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, the heart is a very important. My mom had a heart transplant 26 years ago. So I see that. I see you wear that on your chest. I just think of that, just the power of the heart. Love it. Awesome. Awesome.
It's a real tattoo.
It's a real tattoo. Got it.
Next in my biceps there.
Awesome. Awesome. Gorgeous. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't have tattoos, but if I could get one, that would be that as well. Also, well, it's great to have you, my friends. We have about 20 minutes on this chat, and this is a series we're doing ongoing. Let's support our members, our audience, to really be resourceful. And it's called Rules for Success, but it could be also called Rules for COVID Success, because now you have families, people working at home, doing their best to work as employees, or maybe dealing with a crisis where they're no longer working, or having to maybe have a sublet small apartment where they have multiple children in that small space, and looking, how do we operate? So you are extraordinary, because I mean, your background is all about happiness. You've got some simple processes around that people can overcomplicate things with happiness. Mm-hmm. And well, tell the audience a bit more about your background. You know, how you got into this world 12 years ago, and so forth.
Well, really, I was suicidal in 2008. And from that day onwards, everything changed. And one sentence changed my life, and it was this: be so amazing that you cannot be ignored. So guys, I know that things are difficult. You're alone, you're isolated, but you are not alone. You have you're the common denominator in wherever you go. So if you start to be so amazing that you cannot be ignored, everything changes. You know, people talk about 10,000 hours being the number of hours to get to be an expert at something. Maybe that's true, maybe not. But did you know it takes 20 hours to get good at something? So how about you spend 20 hours in immersion, learn a different language? How cool would that be? 20 hours doing something that you could learn to do and serve you in the future. I started video editing, and I've been putting it off for ages. Now it's like boom, 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 boom. So do something that will make you happier, give you more joy, give you more tools, give you more success, give you more fulfillment. 20 hours is all it takes. And this is a gift. It's really, it's not what happens in life, it's who you become today.
Really, really well said. In your TED Talk, you allude to Einstein's quote, the most powerful thing in the world is compounding interest, right? But you allude to that in terms of like happiness, and you also just now as well, learning an instrument or learning something new. Just you have this time here on our hands, and we can certainly veg out. And I'm a big fan of listening to comedy. I was into comedy a little while ago. Humor, laughter is a great thing. But people are vegging out watching Netflix. What's your advice to people who want to stay home and kind of disconnect and veg out? And what would you say to that?
Well, the thing is, you haven't got a system in place. So Einstein said the greatest force on this earth was compounding interest. He was wrong. The greatest force on this earth is compounding. So imagine this. Every week you develop a new habit. Every week. Get up an hour earlier, do 20 minutes extra physical activity, spend 30 minutes a week learning a language, spend 30 minutes a week learning a different skill, spend an hour a week reconnecting with people. Just take on one extra habit over a week. Over a month, that's 4. Over a year, it's 52 habits. Now, if you compound that, how will you show up in a year's time? Unbelievable. If you don't want to do one a week, what you could do is do one a week while we're in this situation, and then go to one a month. So you're getting at least 12 brand new habits a year. Over 5 years, that's 60. There you go. I lost my ear.
Exactly. So that's very well said. And like even 0.5% improvement, that's what you talk about in your in the video each day. It adds up quite a bit over time. I mean, it's like I did a video yesterday, and it's like 1% improvement each day over the course of a year is 3,700% improvement over a year. But we don't have to play at that level. It can be just like little minor shifts each day. One thing that I've been doing this gardening each day. I have no background in gardening. 20 to 30 minutes each day, every morning doing that. And it's 5 days already in the process. And the vision for what's possible is there. I can see the harvest as I'm doing this, even though I have no background in this whatsoever. I do have people on Facebook messaging me saying, well, we should try this, get it some cardboard, do the different things. I will learn, but it's, when realizing it's just a commitment of putting time and staying focused on that one task at hand.
Yeah. And, you have to put structures in place. If you wake up and you think, oh, what do I do now? You're going to be bored. But if you do it the night before, saying, tomorrow I will get up at 7 a.m., I'll do this. From 8 to 9, I'll do this. From 9 to 10, I'll read a book. From 10 to 11, I'll do some exercise. From 1 to 2, I will connect with people. So you need structure. And this is what's normally missing, because we're normally given structure at work, at school, or in the jobs that we do. But if you put structures in place, you don't have to start thinking, because if you're starting to think, what do I do? What do I do? You don't have many choices, and it becomes uncomfortable. Then the choices are eat, drink, watch TV, sit around. So they're the easy ones, because you don't have to think about anything. So put systems in place. Do a list of 20 things that you could do. Choose one whenever you like, so you don't have to think. Yeah, actually, I just made that up. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Well, structures create freedom. So if you can write those things down in a way where it's easy to grasp, you don't forget these things. It could be taking your vitamins. It could be doing a walk outside. You have a list in front of you. Structure creates freedom. We did a video on that yesterday. Yeah. Let me ask you a question then, Anil. Do you want to say anything else to that before I ask you my next question?
When you serve other people, when you give authentically, all the pain and suffering disappears, and people will always remember how you made them feel. There are 2 types of people on this planet. One is the person who makes you happy when they enter the room, and the other one is who makes you happy when you leave the room. Choose who you want to be.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sorry, you carry on.
No, that's great. Yeah, even getting on the phone call too. When you're on the phone with someone else, who do you want to
Absolutely.
be? Do you want to be the person that they engage with, that they connect with, where there's rapport? Do you want to be the one, "Oh, I can't wait till I get off the phone with this person"? Um, Choose to be the person that adds value, that listens really authentically. Yeah, I love that part of your
Absolutely.
TED Talk too as well. Well, talk about the three G's, your formula for happiness. Let's talk about that a little bit further.
Yeah, there is a formula for happiness, and it's the three G's. Happiness equals G cubed. The first G is you have to give. Give your time, your energy, your love, your commitment, your joy, your gift, your money. Give it away, but not wanting anything back. So I know a lot of you are givers, but sometimes you give wanting something back, and it's really very emotionally tiring. So a lot of people are givers, but they're not good receivers. So you have to learn to receive too. It's a yin and yang. It's an equilibrium. The second G is you have to be grateful for what you have and don't focus on what you don't have. Okay? So be grateful for these. When was the last time you thanked your hands? They're the most important things. What would you give to get them back if you lost them? Everything. So if you look around your family, thank God they're still here.
Yes.
There's one sound I love, and you know what that sound is? Little kids running around like this. Love that sound. To me, it's like
It's beautiful. Yeah.
some people get annoyed. When
Hmm,
I hear it, I get joyous. So
hmm,
change the meaning, change the feeling
hmm.
into a joyous one, and you can do that just by changing this. And you guys are from New York. You know where the most expensive real estate in the world is?
I have an idea.
It's
Right.
in between your ears.
Yes. Yes.
We rent
Yes.
this space out to other people, rent
Yes.
free. If I
Yeah.
told you, Joseph, if
Hmm,
I told you a joke, you would laugh. But if I told you 20 times the same joke, you wouldn't laugh. But people play the same story
hmm,
again and again and again and again and again, and they never
hmm.
get tired of it.
Yeah.
Don't do that, especially now because you have more
Exactly.
time to think about that stuff.
Right.
Get busy.
And overthinking can really be a disaster sometimes as
Ah,
well.
horrible.
Yes. Well, let's talk about that. So people who work at home now, so this is a question I got yesterday. How do you, so you have an amazing family, and like when I see you and the cover of your book, and I've met your children before, at least I met your son before in
Yeah.
person. Um, it's very inspiring as far as what you've created. And my kids are younger. I started later in life having a family. I'm in my mid 40s now. My son is a year old. My daughter is 4.5. One bit of advice you gave me when I last met you in person was that in a relationship, it's so important that you make your spouse number one, and your kids automatically become number one too in the process. I found that very inspiring to embrace, and I've made it a part of my relationship the best I can. I forget sometimes. I go unconscious sometimes to it, but
Yeah.
now that we're all in this space now where people are working at home, right? Their spouses are there. One of my daughter's classmates, both their parents were laid off, and they're at home now with a small child who's 4 or 5 months old and a 4-year-old. And how do you recommend? What are some strategies? What are some things you recommend as far as coexisting now that like the scenario's shifted, and now 1 month, 2 month, 3 months at home? Like, how do you set the boundaries in a
Yeah.
relationship?
Well, it's like when you're on an aeroplane and the stewardess says, "Hey, the oxygen masks are coming down." You have to look after yourself first.
Hmm,
So make sure you have personal time. Make sure you have time for you, and schedule things. Schedule your own time. Schedule things to do. Schedule daydreaming. Like
hmm,
we're kids, and don't react. That's a problem. We
hmm,
tend to react instead of reacting. Respond.
hmm.
If you and one of the mistakes people make in relationships, people think that relationships are 50-50, but they're not. They're 100-100. So
Yeah.
when you first start dating, you make your partner your number one priority, and then after a while you don't, and you take them for granted, and vice versa. So this would be a great time to reconnect with the person that gave you those two beautiful babies and make them feel important. And remember, men want to be respected, women want to be loved. So
Yes.
ladies, ask your man, what can I do to make you feel more respected? Keep on asking him that. Ladies, men, ask your ladies, what can I do to make you feel more loved?
Hmm.
And if you fill your partner with love and respect and vice versa, everything works beautifully. But don't make your children the number one priority. Your partner has to be the number one priority. When you make your partner your number one priority, they will never leave you. Plus, your capacity to love and be loved increases. Your kids see you making their partners their number one priority. They will do the same.
And they will automatically feel like the number one too as well, as they
Yes.
see you honor your partner that way.
It's really not very hard, but it's just a muscle that hasn't been exercised. When you focus on serving your partner, that muscle gets strong and it gets easier and easier and easier.
Yes, got it. Yeah, very, very wise words. And this is from, like I said, we see you when you want to model your success with your relationship, and and you're Indian too as well, also. So I mean, there's different sides to it as well. But it's just family is very important in my community, and we grew up that way. And we want to ensure that going into our hundreds, my game is to be 140, and that we're still having that level of passion in our relationship.
And who thinks he can make it? He doesn't look for mid-40s. He looks like in the 20s. So you're going to make it easily.
Yes, that's the game. And fortunately, thanks to the work we do in this community, we have tools on vitality and staying healthy. Everyone out there, if watches, stay healthy too. Stay hydrated. Do what you can to take care of your health. It's easy to go down the path of least resistance, to veg out. It's an opportunity here. Like as Anil said, and how I would add to this is that this is a laboratory. These 30 days, 60 days, it's a laboratory, right? So it's like it's an opportunity to test these muscles out. And then the stronger you are during these 30, 60 days, the stronger you can be. You can, when you go beyond this time, when you're back in the workforce out there, you'll know that you really stepped up and you're able to build these muscles with your spouse, your relationships and other areas of life, and it'll become easier. So this is like I think one of my other mentors talked about this period as being perturbation, the idea of like a coal being pressurized, and then it's so pressurized that eventually, if the pressure is strong enough, it turns into a diamond, it transforms. So this is like a pressurized situation currently, and there's an opportunity to shine as a diamond. It gets stronger throughout these 30, 60 days by making these investments, as Neil's talked about, compounding each day.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not quarantined. You're on staycation.
I love it.
So the word quarantine is very evocative.
Yes.
But you're not. You're on a paid vacation.
Yes. Yes.
You may never get this opportunity again.
Love the reframe. Exactly. It's going to be the only opportunity of your life, 30 days at home with your loved ones. So make the most of, frame it as it's a great opportunity. You're safe at home. Fantastic. Really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so Anil's book is Immediate Happiness. Certainly check out his TED Talk. Just Google search Anil, A-N-I-L Gupta. And his website is, or his Instagram is Anil Gupta USA. Is that correct? USA?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And your email is Anil, A-N-I-L, at immediatehappiness.com. Anything else you want to say, Anil, before we close out?
The third G is you have to grow.
Yes.
Emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Now, whenever you're feeling sad or upset, and it's going to happen, one of those 3G levels is below the rest. So all you have to do is ask yourself, what's my lowest G level? Is it give? Is it grow? Is it gratitude? Great. Is it gratitude? Then you can fix that. That gives you clarity on how to get happier quicker. So you don't have to work things out. Is it growth? Is it emotional growth? Oh yeah, it is. You know what? Okay, great. Let me work on that. So it gives you a lot of clarity very quickly. And it's so simple and it always works.
Really well said. Get G cube, and they all interconnect as well. Also, so if you grow in one area, or if the more grateful you are, the more you can grow because you're resourceful in that area. So they all very much interconnect as well.
And your capacity to give, grow, and be grateful increases, so that you show up in a different way. You show up more powerfully, and people will remember that.
Yeah, I love the simplicity of how you communicate with everything you do. I think people overcomplicate things. Don't overcomplicate things. Everything here is simple. We are our own only bottlenecks, right? And just get your head out of the way and put the things you want to connect with in front of you, reminders and so forth. As Anil mentioned before, have systems in place, and you'll get there. We'll all get through this together. There is support out there. I listened to a talk months ago, Anil, and I thought about you. And This person framed the only emotion out there as being love, right? It's either you have love if you don't have love. And all these things like jealousy, resentment, it's just all it is a lack of love. And when I thought about that, and I think about the simplicity of how you communicate the G cube, it just makes so much sense. So it's just, you know, opening your heart up to love more. And of course, you've got your love on your shirt there, of course, you know, and it's just a simple reminder that all there is there's love. So you've got to love yourself, love on others, and anything outside of that, you know, it takes away from that. Just be mindful of that, and just find ways to manage your time so you can effectively give of yourself responsibly. Anything else you want to say before we close out, Anil?
Yeah, you know, this is your life. You only get one go at it, and it's you can create your own destiny. The decisions you make today will determine how you end your life. You know, the most important part of a race is not the start, it's not the middle, it's the finish. All of us are in the finish zone. So finish strongly and powerfully and with energy and vitality, and have fun.
Yeah, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process to
Yeah.
getting there. Beautifully said. Really, really wonderful. So everyone's watching this, check out the mind map of this, including the video at rulesforsuccess.com. We'll have a mind map for this, summarizing everything that Neil shared here. Access Neil at immediatehappiness.com. And I want to once again thank you for being part of this is our first 2020 show. We did a series last year as the first one of 2020. So happy
Oh, wow.
April 1st. Thanks for being our first guest here this year, Anil.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Joseph.
Fantastic. So I'm going to end the live stream.